Hey, Forrest here. Nothing like getting paid. And with ICCU's mobile app, I can deposit checks or accept Zelle payments so the money hits my account fast. I just wish there was an app for mowing the rest of these lawns.
Right now, Lithia Ford of Boise is buying used vehicles. How much you want for the SUV?
I don't know.
Well, Lithia Ford will give you more than that.
How much more?
More than you think.
I'm not thinking anything.
I'm thinking you might get even more than that. See how much more you can get at Lithia Ford of Boise.
When it comes to concrete, we've got you covered. Rowpaint.com offers custom concrete coating services for your garage, business, warehouse, and more. And we do it in one day. We are your complete concrete coatings solution.
It's time for the Lithia Ford of Boise postgame show from Bronco Nation News. We're breaking down the game with highlights, interviews, analysis, and most importantly, you. Give your thoughts on the game in the YouTube chat or Facebook comments, and we'll include the best ones on the show. Check out LithiaFordBoise.com to view their full inventory of vehicles, or check them out at 8853 West Fairview in Boise. Now let's head out and join BJ Rains for the Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show from Bronco Nation News.
Well, how we doing, Boise State fans? Final seconds ticking off the clock. Boise State shaking hands, and the Broncos fall in the semifinals of the Mountain West Tournament, 72-62 to the Utah State Aggies. Another great first half for Boise State, another rough second half. It is 1:12 in the morning back in Boise, and we appreciate all of you that are still hanging with us to check out the Lithia Ford of Boise post-game show. We got Colin Mitchell here. My name is BJ Rains. We appreciate you guys for checking us out on a tough night for the Boise State men's basketball team as they fall and now wait their fate in the NCAA tournament that will come on Sunday. 72-62 the final. Max Rice with 1 point tonight for Boise State. You did have 14 for Najee Smith, 13 for Degenhart, 14 for Marcus Shaver Jr., but only 8 from Abbo, 1 from Max Rice. I mean, that's where you can start right there. And Max Rice just couldn't get a lot of open shots. They played great defense on him, and then obviously he got hurt. And he said he felt something pull back there. He thinks he'll be okay, but he's going to get it evaluated when he gets back to Boise. And that is one reason why Boise State needs some time to rest here. They could have 6 days off if they don't play till Friday in Denver. If they get Sacramento, it's 5 days off or wherever else they might go. But the earliest they could play is Thursday. So the one small benefit is they get the extra day off tomorrow, and then they'll get a couple days off going into the tournament. Selection Sunday is on Sunday, and sounds like there may be something at Extra Mile Arena. So working on some details on that, and we'll see what Boise State announces. But sounds like there may be a fan event to come celebrate the 24 wins and the spot in the NCAA tournament at Extra Mile Arena with the fans on Sunday. So we'll see if we can get some final confirmation on that at some point. The Boise State might announce something tomorrow, but that is a possibility for there to be something on Sunday. So make sure you keep open to that. Hard to complain about terrible officiating. Can't hit the free throws. DG Nelson legitimately needs to be investigated. There were some really bad calls, but they were on both teams. There were some bad calls for both teams, but I thought it was the DG Nelson play call on the fourth foul on Degenhart was really bad. I mean, that was a game-changing call, the fourth foul, and that was actually David Hall that called that one. David Hall made the call. It was a fourth foul on Degenhart. He was clearly out of the circle, clearly looked set. I mean, it looked like a textbook charge, and that gave Degenhart 4 fouls. He had to go to the bench, and then that also allowed 2 free throws for Utah State at that point. Leon Rice did get a technical later in the game. I thought the slow-mo replay that TV showed of Stephen Ashworth already falling back before the contact with Marcus Shaver Jr., I thought that was a really, really bad call as well. And there were a couple questionable calls. I did not think that Adelrock traveled. He drove the lane when they called the flop, I think, on Shaver, and I thought he took 2 steps and laid it in. I thought that was a good call. I mean, a bad call. I thought it was a good layup. And so there were bad calls on both teams. I'm not going to be that guy and say Boise State lost this game because of the officiating, but the officiating was terrible on both sides. 42 fouls were called in this game. There were 48 combined free throw attempts. It was just a brutal game. And for a Mountain West semifinal game, you would think that Eric Curry and David Hall are considered 2 of the better refs in the league. DG Nelson is not, so I was very surprised to see that he got this game tonight. And, when you think about it, there's only 2 Pac-12 games going on tonight. You need 12 of your best refs on the West Coast for these 2 conferences. I don't think we got that, at least in the second game. You had a much more veteran crew in the first game tonight for San Diego State. So probably won't be as long of a show as it usually is. It's 1:15 now. You guys probably don't want to talk about an hour about a loss, and I've got a flight in about 8 hours to get home and see my family tomorrow. So we'll hear from Leon Rice. We'll hear from some players. We'll get to some of your comments, but probably will be a shorter show tonight. Just being honest with you, if I think it's probably benefits all of us if that's the case. Great job containing Funk, 5 points, but the wheels fell off in the second half. Broncos looked gassed. Speaks to the depth issues. Yeah, and Leon Rice kind of admitted that they were gassed tonight, and Leon Rice did say basically they were tired in the second half. He saw that in their legs, and so again, 5 or 6 days off will certainly help. Moving into next week. Struggled, but the one official needs pulled for Mountain West games, or at least investigate onto the big dance. Again, it was bad for both teams. I'm not going to be that guy and say Boise State lost because the officiating screwed them. There were a couple of questionable calls that went against Boise State. But Utah State had plenty of gripes about some calls as well. So it was bad. It's going to be interesting to see how, if any, this plays into a part in the league. I don't think it will, and I think Boise State's in a fine spot if they're a 10 seed playing in Denver, and give them Iowa or give them Missouri and see what happens. I think they've avoided Dayton. I think they're fine. This was a quad 1 game. The metrics are still very high, and like I said all week, I think the tournament is mostly set by this point. So I really don't think this is going to affect the seeding that much. If they were an 8 seed last year when they won the Mountain West tournament, I don't know how this all of a sudden would drop them down. So I'm sure Joe Lenardi or somebody will all of a sudden wake up tomorrow and you see him in the last 4 in or something crazy. But I don't see this being a loss that all of a sudden Boise State's back on the bubble and is worried. I know, so I saw some people say maybe they have to go to Dayton. I don't see it. I don't think this team has done enough that they should not have to go play in Dayton in the first 4. And but we'll see what happens. And maybe if they do go to Dayton, it gives them their best chance to win. They're playing another 11 seed in the first 4. So who knows? But Ashworth should have been done like 5 minutes into the second half. That charge that Degenhart took had even the announcers speechless that it wasn't called. That was why it was a big call on Shavers. When Shaver drove, it's a great point, Preston. That would have been the 4th foul on Ashworth. So instead of Ashworth having to come out with 4 fouls, that gave Degenhart 3 fouls. That was Marcus Shaver 3 fouls. So that was a huge game-changing call at that point. And so that's why the call was big, because it would have been 4 fouls on Ashworth, not just the fact that it was 3 on Shaver. It worked both ways. So do want to thank a couple of our sponsors here, and then we'll hear from some of the players. We're broadcasting from the Cutwater Spirits mobile studios. More than 30 flavors of pre-mixed premium cocktails. You can pick one up at your local gas station or a grocery store. RealPaint.com, our title sponsor. They're signing up for those concrete coatings for the spring. If you want to transform the look of your back patio, your garage, your basement, make your concrete look really nice and add a concrete coating to it. Get more information at RealPaint.com. Lithia, Florida, Boise, we appreciate their support of the pre- and post-game shows and Bronco Nation news. Check them out, LithiaFordBoise.com, to see their full inventory of vehicles, and they will take your used car. If you're looking to sell it, they'll give you a cash offer on the spot. Check them out, Lithia Ford Boise. Idaho Central Credit Union, our road trip coverage. They are sponsoring our road trip coverage all season. We appreciate their support. ICCU.com if you're looking to switch your bank. You will not be happy. You wouldn't be happier if you make the switch to Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com. And if you're looking for a job, how about Transportation Compliance Service? They can help you get in the trucking industry and with the permits and things you need to get out there towing that first load in no time. Transcomservice.com, 866-813-7620. They can help get you a new, fresh career start and get you out there towing that first load in no time. We got a lot of interviews to get to. We want to take some more of your comments and thoughts as well. Let's see what pops up first when I click in here. We'll go to Max Rice postgame. Here's Max Rice after Boise State falls 72-62. Max Rice speaking with Bronco Nation News after the game.
Tough one tonight. You guys had a great first half and then a rough second half. How do you kind of describe that one?
Yeah, I think their game plan was really good. They took away a lot of our threes, kind of like what we were trying to do to them. They wanted it more, and they played better down the stretch, and we kind of ran out of gas there at the end, but it's a good win for them. tough one for us, but on to the NCAA tournament.
Tough one for you, obviously. I mean, they just didn't give you a lot of space, kind of like the game over there in Logan. I mean, how tough was it to try to get some looks?
Yeah, no, I think they did a really good job running me off a three, and then I kind of forced a couple, just trying to get them up because, I mean, obviously I was trying to make them, but I just wasn't getting any looks out there that I feel like I usually get in other games. But they had a great game plan. Credit to their coaching staff. I thought they played a really good game.
I mean, in a game like this, to have 1 point, I mean, that's got to be frustrating.
Yeah, I took a tough spill. I'm not blaming anything on that, but I'll get that evaluated back in Boise. But we came out of this game mostly healthy, so we should be good going to the NCAA tournament. Hopefully we get a good seed.
What did happen there? Looked like kind of your shoulder or something there to the thigh or the back of your leg?
No, he landed on, like, my leg was like semi in the air, and like he just landed and pushed it back and like pulled something back here. But I think I'll be all right.
What you mentioned the tournament. I mean, obviously you guys would have wanted to play tomorrow, but I mean, you get an extra day of rest now, I guess, and you'll find out Sunday. What's your thoughts, I guess, on going into selection Sunday?
Yeah, I think we're in a really good position. I think a lot of teams would trade places with us just because I think we've put in a lot of good work this year. We have a lot of good wins, and Utah State was a better team tonight, so credit them.
It sounds like there may be something Sunday with the fans. I don't know if it's been announced or anything yet, but if there is, maybe would that be a fun opportunity, I guess, since last year didn't get to happen?
Yeah, it'd be super cool. I think, well, it's tough to talk about it now just because we lost, but I think that'd be really good for the program to get some people together to watch the selection show.
You think the rest will be good for you guys going into next week? You're gonna have 6 days, 5 or 6 days off. I mean, this team seems like it could use some time for next week.
Yeah, we definitely need some rest. We need to figure out some of those second half offensive struggles, but we'll figure it out. We'll get it right.
Again, just 1 point for Max Rice tonight. Credit Utah State's defense. They just really did not give him much of an opening at all. And so, again, he just didn't get many open shots, but he finishes 0 for 6. He had a couple of short shots. He couldn't get to fall. He only took 1 3-point attempt tonight. So you want to look at where potentially Boise State lost this game. Only 1 3-point attempt for Max Rice. Boise State only took 14 3-point attempts for the game. They just could not get anything going from deep. Meanwhile, Utah State took 29 3-point attempts, so over double the attempts from three. And they also made more than double the threes of Boise State. 9 made threes for Utah State tonight, and they got a lot of those in the second half. Boise State was 1 for 9 in the second half from three. Utah State hit 6 threes in the second half. I thought that was a big difference in the game. Preston says he doesn't mind going from a 9 to a 10 if that's what it is, but hates it had to be Utah State. Yeah, I mean, you don't want to go into the 11, I guess. You know, the 6th seed is obviously better. You don't want to go in the first 4, obviously, but I think if you stay out of the 8-9 game, it's not the end of the world. I think this team is good enough when they're healthy and rested to win a game in the tournament, so I don't think you have to worry too much. I think a 10 seed could be fine, especially if you get Denver and you play an Iowa or a 7 seed that's beatable. I think that's it's all about the matchup. The seed doesn't really matter. It's about the matchup. Boise State, was 8-9, and you would have rather maybe been at 12 last year with who you had to play in Memphis. So there's a lot to dissect when it comes to all that stuff. But I think that certainly Boise State, I think, is still in a pretty good spot for Sunday. And I think a 10 seed would be perfect for this team. Gambled on double teams 2 times. They knocked down the 3 both times, put the game out of reach. Best defense I've seen from them all year. I thought Utah State played great defense. Again, Boise State, shot over 50%, I think, in the first half, but in the second half, they just couldn't get much going. The free throw is what he's talking about. Boise State missed 8 free throws tonight. They were 14 of 22, missing 8 free throws for Boise State, and they fall in a 10-point game. Utah State was 21 of 26 from the free throw line, so Utah State picked up some points at the line. That was certainly a big deal. Couldn't buy a bucket in the second half. Kareem the Dream says vibes were off. They were gassed. Max couldn't get anything going. Team needs to practice free throws continuously the next few days. He also said proud of this team. Drastic lack of depth. Have on their bench. Just didn't show up in the second half. Great job containing Funk, but you can't leave Shulga wide open. Yeah, Shulga did kill Boise State with a couple shots for him. Taylor Funk only had 7 points. If you'd told me before the game Funk has 7 points, I would have thought Boise State was in a pretty good spot. Ashworth only had 14, but yeah, Max Shulga, 19 points. He was huge for them. You had 13 for Idle Rock as well. I thought Idle Rock and Shulga came in and played great. And Sean Barstow as well. So some of the role players for Utah State really stepped up tonight and made some huge plays. But Preston says more flopping out there than a bunch of fish on the boat deck. It was bad for both teams. Again, I'm not going to be that guy. There were a couple of key calls that went against Boise State. that I thought appeared to be the wrong call, but I'm sure Utah State fans think they got a bad whistle as well. So it goes both ways. Max's little injury he had in the first half didn't affect the herniated disc too much, but it looked like he felt it. All in all, as a conference, Mountain West needs to look into the officiating crews. Refs nearly fouled out 4 to 5 players on both sides. Bricked free throws late. Yeah, free throws did hurt him tonight. It was certainly genuinely crazy to see how much Max and Leon Rice live rent-free in the Utah State fans' heads. Yeah, and they were going back digging up some of my old tweets as well. They're loving to see some of my tweets from January when I said they were paper tigers, and then they were freaking out when I said that D.G. Nelson is the baseball coach at Salt Lake Community College. I don't know what him being the Salt Lake coach for baseball has anything to do with Logan, Utah, basketball, and I wasn't insinuating anything other than the fact that I think it's actually kind of interesting. The guy's a D1, coaches baseball and is a D1 ref at the same time. I don't know how he does that with the travel and all that, and he's certainly, didn't have the best game tonight, but it is what it is. Let's see. I love Shaver's hustle and energy, always coming with big rebounds. I thought he played pretty well. That's one positive. Is Shaver looks like he's a little healthier and a little better spot maybe than he was. But you give this team 5 or 6 days off, I think they're going to come in playing great, because you saw what that rest did in the Utah State game. I mean, in the UNLV game in the first half, they played great. So let's hear from Najee Smith as we keep things rolling here. Najee Smith after Boise State's 72-62 loss.
It just felt like we kind of ran out of juice a bit. They started hitting threes, and a couple of our shots weren't falling, so you could just feel the momentum shift.
It looked like, in the second half, you guys had, in the first half, you had a lot of success in the paint. What didn't work in the second half down there?
The second half, it felt like we were almost trying to force it in the paint too much instead of letting it happen and kind of take what they were giving us. So we let them dictate the game a little bit too much, which affected us.
How much confidence do you leave this tournament with? I mean, these are some of the biggest games you've played in, probably, Naj, and you led the team in scoring last night. You tied for the team lead in scoring tonight. How much confidence do you leave with?
Oh, a lot of confidence. It's my final run, and I definitely want to make it special and historic.
24-9 going into Selection Sunday. What are your thoughts?
I definitely think we're a team that should be in the tournament for sure. We have a lot of good wins, a good resume. Hope an 11-10 seed and somewhere we can win a few games.
Just the second half, the last couple of games, you hit some of your best first halves of the season and maybe some of your worst halves in the second half. How do you explain the difference like that?
It feels like we almost get tired, got in a little bit of foul trouble, so we weren't able to play our game like we were in the beginning.
The officiating seemed like both sides had some gripes tonight. I mean, is it tough sometimes when the inconsistency and things to kind of know what's going on out there?
Oh, it's very tough. How refs can take players out of the game and kind of prohibit a lot of the gameplay. It kind of slowed things down and kind of work into their favor. So we just try to play through it the best we can.
On that note, how big was that block call on Tyson, and what did you see on that?
Man, I thought it was clean. I'm not gonna lie. I wish they would have reviewed it, but at the end of the day, it's their call.
There's Najee Smith. There was a lot of diplomatic answers, by the way. I think Leon Rice kind of said sarcastically, I thought they did a great job on the officiating. We'll hear that in a little bit. We're getting Leon Rice put in the system here in just a few minutes. But I think he bit his tongue a couple times about the officiating. He obviously got a technical foul and got teed up, and that was not ideal for him. We will hear more players. We'll hear from Leon Rice in just a second, but got to thank some more sponsors real quick. If you're looking for a dentist, how about Boise Dentistry Co.? BoiseDentistryCo.com, locations across the Treasure Valley, 5 locations to be exact, 906-1255. Give them a call, a full family dentistry, and they make it easy and fun to go to the dentist. So check them out, BoiseDentistryCo.com. United Commercial Insurance, they make it easy to get business insurance, and they can give you a low rate. UnitedCommercialInsurance.com can write business policy insurance in 44 states around the country. Make sure you check out UnitedCommercialInsurance.com. 229-8222. A quick call could save you hundreds of dollars on your business insurance. Ridley's Family Markets, shop Ridley's.com. They got 13 Idaho locations, and they got that new app, the Ridley's app. Go download it in your Apple Store, your Google Play on your phone, your smartphone, and you can get up to 40% off in store using that Ridley's app. And again, find a location near you at shopridleys.com. The blueandorange.store.com, you can get free shipping on any order over $40. That's right, free shipping, any order over $40. Check them out, theblueandorangestore.com. And if you're in the Boise area, head on into the Boise Town Square Mall, second floor at Pro Image there. They've got all the Degenhardt and Shaver NIL shirts and all that great stuff. So make sure you check them out. And Bauscher Real Estate, BauscherRealEstate.com. The number 1 ranked realtor in the Treasure Valley is Matt Bauscher, 243-8222. No home is too big or too small for Matt and his team. They do an outstanding job. So if you're looking to buy or sell a home, use the former Bronco and use the guy that has been helping us out at Bronco Nation News here, Matt Bauscher. and Boucher Real Estate. Let's keep the interviews going here. I guess we'll check a couple more of the comments first. Let's see what else we got. Let's go back up here. By the way, we got 40 people still watching this live at 1:30 in the morning. So the 40 of you, I'm not sure why the heck you're watching this at 1:30 in the morning, but I truly appreciate it. I know a lot of people are probably going to be watching this on the delay on Saturday, or not watching it at all if they're frustrated with how the game went. But I appreciate the 41 sickos that are still watching this at 1:30 in the morning. Let's see what we got here. Brent says, flush this one and move on. Let's dance. Milner was killing those bigs on the block. Surprised Leon didn't ISO more on offense. He still missed a couple easy ones, but yeah, I thought Milner has gotten a lot better with that left hand and some of the post moves that he has for his size. So I think Lucas Milner could be a factor in the NCAA tournament moving forward. The season has already been a successful one. Win a game in the tournament, I'll definitely feel a lot better. Yep, outstanding season, agreed. You guys a little nervous at all? I mean, I know it looks like Boise State's clearly in, but I mean, is there any percentage of you that thinks maybe they have to go to Dayton, or maybe they're going to get left out altogether? I mean, what is the nervousness amongst the fans? I'm curious how you guys are feeling. Shaver had some beautiful crossover. Jay made Ashworth fall down once and then got the foul call. 4 threes the whole game. Yeah, Boise State went 4 of 14. 4 of 14 from three after I think they hit like 11 in yesterday's game. They make 4 threes tonight. That was a game changer. 3-point shooting was bad. Kareem says, regardless, still excited about the back-to-back tournament appearances. Hopefully enough fire in the team to make history. Let's see it happen. I have to go find a Cutwater after that one. I probably do need one, but again, I have to get up in like 6 hours for my flight, so we'll see. But I definitely could use one after that. He says, same here. Happy for all the memories the last 2 seasons. Yeah, 51 wins the last 2 seasons, the most of any Mountain West team. And the Broncos looking to go back to the NCAA tournament for the 2nd straight year for only the 2nd time in program history. They have the ability to have a good game for sure. Just need to show up, and let's hope it's in Denver. I would love Denver. Denver's not till Friday, which is nice. You get the extra day. I've already got a flight to Denver. I wouldn't mind that either. Hopefully Denver or Sacramento. You just don't want to get shipped out to Albany, New York, or Birmingham, or one of the ones way far away. So we'll see if Boise State gets to play in Denver on Sunday. Plenty to criticize about the second half performance. Officiating 100% lost the game for me. Called that 4th foul on Degenhardt on a clear charge that ended the game. Yeah, that was a big call. And then the one when Shaver got his 3rd instead of Ashworth getting his 4th also was a big call. That when he was leaning backwards as they made the call. It's all over social media. You can go watch it. I just didn't think that was that. Again, I'm not sure single-handedly those two calls lost the game for Boise State. They could make some more free throws and make some more threes and play a little better defense in the second half. But I think that that certainly was a factor. Was a couple close calls going against Boise State for sure in this one. But let's see here. We got Leon Rice. We got the players. We'll play a little bit of that from the podium. Here is Boise State coach Leon Rice's opening statement, and then some of the other players up on the stage, Degenhardt and Jace Whiting, after the game.
Hard-fought game. Utah State's a great team, and it's going to be a heck of a championship tomorrow. We got a lot of great teams in this league, and really proud of our guys, the way we battled. You got to make some shots, and we missed some free throws that kind of was at a crucial point when they built a little bit of a lead. But always proud of our guys, the way we battled, and we did a great job in that first half. They understood the game plan, executed it perfectly, and we knew that Utah State would respond. Like I said, they're a great team, and they made some good shots in the second half, and it's a game of making some shots, and they were able to do that.
Okay, we'll take questions for the student athletes, please.
You guys, Coach kind of addressed it there, but a tale of 2 halves again. From your perspective in the second half, what really was the difference?
Kind of a mix of, not getting stops and then not making shots on the offensive end, and that's just about it. We just couldn't get it done tonight.
Throughout your career, you've been so good at taking charges, and that Edelrock one that got called a block seemed to kind of be one of the swings in the game. From your perspective, what happened on that play?
He caught it in the corner, and I'm guarding Bairstow in the corner, and he kind of fumbled it a little bit, so I was like, trying to cat and mouse him a little bit. And when I saw he was going, I tried to do my best to get outside the restricted area before he was going up, and just one of those calls that could go either way, and it's unfortunate that it went not our way tonight.
Tyson, how tough was it to respond from that call, though? I mean, that was a pretty crucial point in the game. Not only did it send Utah State to the free throw line, but it gave you your 4th foul, and you had to come out of the game.
Tough situation. I'd hope that'd go our way a lot more times than not, but that's a position I put myself in with 3 fouls going into that time, and probably got a couple dumb ones early in the game. So it's just a learning experience for me, and not getting any dumb fouls early in the game.
You guys had a lot of success in the paint in the first half, and some struggles there in the second half. And there was about a 10-minute stretch there in the final 10 minutes almost, where you guys had 1 field goal. So what did Utah State do well that you guys struggled with, or maybe it was just ball didn't go in the bucket? I don't know.
We just didn't make shots in the second half. I think we got a lot of good looks, and the ball just doesn't go in, and that's basketball for you.
Jace, for you to be called upon due to the foul trouble and just getting a lot of minutes tonight and play the way you did, and Lucas also coming off the bench, what kind of confidence do you gain from this tournament and playing like you have and taking that into next week?
I don't know, getting a lot of those minutes, it just gave me a lot of experience, and the more minutes I got, I felt like the more comfortable I got, which in turn gave me more confidence. So I just wanted to go out there and play hard and play with confidence, play fearless, so that's all.
Jason, you wouldn't mind answering first, then Tyson following it up. But Selection Sunday's a couple days away. You guys are 24-9. What do you think about where you guys stand in terms of the NCAA tournament?
I'm a freshman, so I don't really know how it works too much, so I'm going to have to ask Tyson.
I think we're in a good spot. I think our resume speaks for itself. A lot of quad 1 wins and no quad 4 loss like we did last year, so I'm hoping we get a good spot, hopefully somewhere close like Sacramento or Denver. So it's going to be hard waiting a couple days for that, but we'll be ready.
Any final questions for our student athletes?
You guys, get 5 or 6 days off before you play again. How much do you guys, does this team need a break here physically, mentally, whatever, just to go into next week?
It's going to be huge, especially like this week. I think we played really fresh yesterday, like after having, 4 or 5 days off. And, I'm hoping that we can have the same kind of success as we did in the first half of both games in the tournament.
Tyson, you've had to do this. You did this last year, this quick turnaround. What's it like from a player's perspective, having played 2 games, then have to come back and play 15 hours later on dead legs? I mean, what is it?
I'm going to fast forward this a little bit because I wanted to get a comment from Leon Rice on the officiating. We only have limited time here. Those guys got up, but here's Leon Rice. His a little more on the officiating.
Just get straight to the point, Leon. That call that went against Tyson Degenhart, the block call. How big and how much of a swing did that happen? What was your vantage point of that call?
I thought Tyson answered that great. What did you see, Jay? What was your vantage point? I'm not allowed to have a vantage point on that.
Okay, over here.
It seemed like on both sides there were some swing calls. That wasn't the only one. There were some others as well. I mean, was it tough to kind of know to get a flow or know what the officiating was going to be like on both sides? Or it just seemed like it was 42 fouls in a game like this. It just seemed like it was a lot of guys in foul trouble and just not a clean game from that perspective.
I thought it was so well done.
Did you see any fatigue in the second half from your guys, or?
Yeah, it's the 3-day tournament like this benefits the deeper you can be. You need that depth, and last night overtime game that was a hard fought battle, and that's probably maybe one of the weaknesses of this team is the amount of guys I play. And so that probably showed up in our shooting a little bit. We missed some shots maybe that you're like, oh, I've seen us make those. But you got to credit Utah State. We knew it was going to be a heck of a game. And we played a great first half again. And I did see a little drain, no doubt about it. And that, that's why I think San Diego State, with the depth that they have a big advantage in this tournament tomorrow. I mean, doesn't mean Utah State can't win. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that a 3-day, especially how good every night you're going to going to have to go battle somebody and how good everybody is and the heavy minutes you're going to have to play to win a game. When you don't have that depth, it wears on you, no doubt.
Well, there is Leon Rice, and we'll have the full Leon Rice interview up on YouTube, the full post-game press conference on YouTube. We have all the other exclusive interviews on YouTube as well. You've already heard from Najee Smith and Max Rice. We've got Lucas Milner we'll get to here momentarily before we end the show, but I got a couple more of your comments on here. One good thing about the offseason is hitting the transfer portal, building some depth. Yeah, that'll obviously be a key for Boise State moving forward. Sam says you can't say the officials rigged the game, says gives them too much credit. It takes competence to organize something like that. No, they didn't. There was no fix. The conference didn't tell the refs that Utah State needed to win to help them get in the tournament. I mean, that this doesn't happen. But it was just it was a rough game on both sides for the officiating. But that's not what lost in the game. Free throws was a key factor. They missed 8, obviously. Let's see here. Jeff says, as promised, I'm here for the post game as an East Coast fan, bummed but ready for the NCAA. It's now 3:15 a.m. The refs ruined my day. Jeff, we appreciate you staying up late for watching. Not very kind of you. Patsy and Peter Olson, always appreciate you guys for watching. Good morning to you. Disappointing loss. Congratulations to the players. You got 24 wins. Great season for Boise State. 24 wins, and they're not done yet. I think if they can get that win on next week and make history, I mean, this becomes one of the all-time great seasons in program history all of a sudden if you can win that first tournament game. So a lot of positives still potentially out there. Is Max hurt? Yeah, he did suffer some sort of injury. He felt something pull when his leg kind of bent back after he got hit. He's going to be evaluated in Boise, but he is not super worried about it. He obviously finished the game, and he said he's hoping to be able to be fine next week. Already looking forward to the football game on November 18th. Ran out of gas. Tyson charging call changed the game. Did you guys get that quote from Leon Rice, by the way? He said that it was I thought they did a fine job, I believe was the call. Or what he said, all he said was kind of, I thought they did a fine job, I think was the quote or something like that. That was kind of funny. It will not be quad 2 for Utah State. It'll stay quad 1. Chase is watching, trying not to cry. Being here is better than being on Twitter. Let's see. James Whitlock, I believe, is a Utah State fan that has infiltrated the chat. I had a tweet back when they played them the first time saying it looked like they were kind of a little bit of a paper Tigers, and I still stand by that. At the time that I said it, I thought that the numbers were a little inflated, but Utah State has certainly played very well down the stretch. They deserve a lot of credit, and I think they might win the game tomorrow. I think they have a great chance to win tomorrow. So I think that Utah State deserves a lot of credit. They've played great. If you want to find my old tweets, Utah State fans, sure, that's great. But I think they're playing great, and they deserve a lot of credit. And I hope they can win it tomorrow. And I think they have a chance to win a game or two next week if they can shoot like that. Sam thinks they'll be a 10. Kareem says 9 through 11. Brock would not be at all surprised if they end up in Dayton. Would fans count that though? I mean, you get the money for it; it counts as a share. But would if that's the game they win, would fans be happy if that's the quote unquote first win if it comes in Dayton? I think some fans would, especially the detractors of Leon Rice, would have an issue with that and say that it's probably not a win that should count. Let's see. Calling us sickos. We're here supporting you. I was being sarcastic, Patsy and Peter Olson, being very sarcastic. 1:43 in the morning. I didn't expect to have 43 people still watching us live, so I'm very appreciative, very thankful for that. I just didn't think that it was going to be the case. I figured people would be ready to get rid of this game and move on to the next one. So well done is what he said on that. So well done was his quote on the officiating. Jace was a big positive tonight. He looked great, especially guarding Ashworth. I did think he played well. But I thought another guy that played well was Lucas Milner. Lucas Milner got a chance to come in and did some things. That foul trouble really hurt him. He had 4 fouls and was really not able to be much of a factor there in the second half. But Lucas Milner in 14 minutes had 6 points and 3 rebounds. So let's hear from Lucas Milner speaking with Bronco Nation News after the game.
Lucas, obviously a tough second half for you guys. What kind of went wrong?
I don't know. I think they just kind of rolled up on us and kept rolling. Me personally, I had those dumb fouls that took me out of the game. I was contributing in the first half. And, it's hard to contribute when you're stuck on the bench with fouls. 2
games in a row, kind of the same recipe. Great first half, second half not as good. I mean, we haven't really seen that a ton from this team, but how do you kind of describe these 2 games, kind of the difference in some of your better halves of the season and maybe some of your worst halves of the season?
Yeah, I don't know. Usually we're a second half team, so it's a little surprising, but, best thing about it is we're not done yet, so we can learn from it.
What did it mean for you? Again, you continue to get some playing time and take advantage of it, and you obviously had a nice game tonight. What did it mean for you and to get out there and contribute?
I'm just playing the game when I'm out there, just kind of just enjoy the moment and just, do as much as I can.
Well, it seemed like when they get rolling, that confidence with those threes and stuff, they're hard to slow down. I mean, they kind of got rolling like they did in Logan in the second half there.
Yeah, when they're seeing a big basket, it's tough. But that's the game. Just got to stifle it.
What is the rest going to be good for this team? You guys going to have 5-6 days off till you play again next week. Hopefully, you guys need to rest. You looked a little fatigued there in the second half.
I suppose so. I felt like we were all good, but rest is always good. We'll definitely use that rest and prepare.
What's your take on kind of where you guys sit going into Selection Sunday?
I think we're good, pretty good at looking there. I honestly have no idea. I'm just kind of excited to live that experience.
It sounds like you guys might do something with the fans or something. Last year it didn't work out, obviously, with the delays. I mean, would that be nice? I guess. I mean, you still have 24 wins, and you still have a solid season here. And if you hear your name called, that's obviously a huge accomplishment. You guys looking forward to that on Sunday?
Looking very much for that. We didn't get that experience last year, so it'll be cool to have it this year.
And how do you feel about this team? I mean, obviously not the result you wanted down here, but I mean, do you guys feel like you're still a team that can do some damage and make some noise next week?
Oh yeah, definitely. I love every single guy on this team, and I know that each one of them are going to respond the way we need to.
There is still a lot of optimism and confidence in that locker room that they can win a game next week. And again, I think the extra day of rest is not necessarily a bad thing. And I think that this team can still make history with the right matchup and go win the first game in Bronco history. We got folks falling asleep. Good night, Bronco faithful. We had some other folks saying good night, safe travels, and good night. So yeah, we do appreciate everybody that stayed up late. Updated Lenardi bracket as Boise State as a 10 seed against Northwestern. I think, boy, that'd be not a bad matchup for Boise State. Northwestern as a 10 seed. I'm curious where that would be. Utah State fans are strange. You can tell people want to be trolls, but they can't really get it done, almost like when their football team plays Boise. James Whitlock, good luck in Dayton. That's, again, a Utah State fan, it looks like. Personally, don't believe the first 4 doesn't count, then BSU's only 0-6 in the tournament. Agreed, I would rather win in the actual tournament. Utah State fans having an entire day digging at my old tweets, weirdos for sure. So Utah State beat them twice in 7 days. No, I said they're not. They're not paper tigers. I said that at the time. I thought that their stats were a little inflated, but they've played very well, and I wish them the best of luck moving forward. I think they're a quality team that certainly has proven me wrong from that standpoint. They want it to be a rivalry, a little brother complex. Life in Logan provides plenty of time to do opposition research to troll with. That Mountain Dew and 3% beer really gets them going. I do the same if I was in Logan, Utah. I really do enjoy this back and forth with the fan bases. But again, guys, appreciate you so much for joining us this late. It's almost 1:48 in the morning back in Boise, and we're going on a 40-minute post-game show. So Lithia Ford of Boise, go check them out. They'll purchase your used vehicle from you. LithiaFordBoise.com, RowPaint.com. That 15% offer is still going. BNN15 is the promo code, and they're signing up for the concrete coatings as well. And of course, Idaho Central Credit Union, ICCU.com, the sponsor of our road trip coverage. We're very grateful for Idaho Central Credit Union for helping get us on the road down here to the tournament, and they'll be helping us on the road next week to get Colin and I both to the NCAA tournament as well. So the Blue and Orange Store, TCS, Boise Dentistry Co., United Commercial Insurance, Ridley's Family Markets, Bauscher Real Estate, all of our great sponsors making this a free show for you guys. We really appreciate everybody for staying up late with us. Sorry the result wasn't what you wanted, Boise State fans, but stay tuned. Again, it sounds like there may be something on Sunday over at Extra Mile Arena for fans to watch the selection show with the team, so that could be a lot of fun. So details on that to come if that is indeed the case and happens. We'll see if Boise State announces something on that tomorrow maybe. But safe travels to everybody that's down here getting back to Boise. And we'll see if I can get a quick nap in before my early flight back to Boise. I was able to change that and can see the family a little bit earlier tomorrow and enjoy Saturday before we get going on Sunday. But appreciate you, Brent. He's going to have to get the Jordan 3s on the drop. Safe travels. Appreciate the content. Yep, thank you to all you guys. It's a great show. hope everybody has a good rest of your night. Again, not the end of the world. They get an extra day of rest, and they'll be ready to go next week. I think the Broncos are pretty motivated and still have a chance to win that first game in tournament history next week. So not all is lost, even though this is a tough one right now. So we'll await their selection, their fate on Selection Sunday, and kind of see what the brackets and everything look like the next couple of days. And then Sunday at 4 o'clock, we'll find out where Boise State is headed. So thanks to Colin Mitchell. He's behind the scenes, did a lot of hard work down here. He's been down here for like 6 days covering the women's tournament and then the men's tournament. So Colin did a great job as always down here. We appreciate him. And I'm looking forward to going to the NCAA tournament with him next week, and then we'll have continued coverage. So we're looking to do a live Selection Sunday show as well, either from the arena or back in the studios afterwards. But we will have a live show at some point Sunday evening to talk about the bracket. So be prepared for a BNN show on Selection Sunday. So have a great rest of your night. Enjoy your Saturday. We'll talk to you Sunday as Boise State finds out its NCAA tournament fate. Go subscribe, $6.99 a month. $70 for a full year. You get a lot of exclusive coverage at BroncoNationNews.com and all of our social media channels, including YouTube. Make sure you subscribe at the bottom of the page there. We'd love to have you subscribe and like the broadcast, and turn on your notifications so you know when we go live, like we will on Sunday from the selection watch party. So we will see. Appreciate everybody for checking us out. Have a great rest of your night. We'll talk to you Sunday. For Colin Mitchell, for my wife, Karen Rains, Bronco Nation News, this is BJ Rains, Bronco Nation News.